Hi boys and girls, do you have one of these? Or maybe one of these? Or one of these? Well, if you do, you've got a problem. And I'm going to tell you what that is. Okay, here's the chassis for my RCA 9X571, and it's just basically ready to go except for one thing, and that is, if you notice here and here, these are dial-light sockets. And this particular radio, along with the other two that I showed you at the beginning of the video, takes two dial-lights. Now here's the problem, and I have up here, this is the breakdown of the parts list. If you look here where it says lamp, the dial lamp is a Mazda 1490. Now, that doesn't really say a lot except for one thing. I don't think this is a Mazda 1490, but it's probably a clone. But the problem is that this is a 3.2 volt dial lamp. So why is it a problem? Well, the problem is that you see this twisted pair of wires here. They go back and around, and on the this side of the chassis, you see the wires going inside. Now, where most dial lights are usually 6.3 volt, and even if they're double ones, they're usually wired up in parallel rather than in series, and that's where the problem lies. And I don't know how many of these radios over the years. Now, it's a good radio. Don't get me wrong. It's an AA5. So it's, it is what it is, but with 3.2 volt dial amps, and this works the same way as if you went to my Radio Wild Tricky Troubleshooting Tips video number 2, which explains that on 35Z5 GT, which is what's on this radio, which is actually, that's the 50L6, it's back in here, okay. And tap number 3 is a 6.3 volt tap to do a dial light. Well, they actually have these wires hooked up in series, being that they're 3.2 volt lights. And what happens is, or where the problem is that you reach back here and you go to turn the radio on. Well, what happens is that you get, I think what it is that you get a rash of inrush current. And the initial turning on of the radio usually blows one or both of these lights, if not ruin the tap, which I pinned 3 on the 35Z5. And then even if you put 2 more lights in there that are good, the radio won't work unless you swap the 35Z5 tube. So that's what the problem is. Now, this is my personal radio. It's all done, and I got the case. I'll show you the case when I'm done here. So what I've done in the past is that there's a little harness right here. Let me get my pointer. Okay, which just held on with a Phillips head screw. I undo that. And what I do is I rewire this to put these guys in parallel rather than series. So what happens is that I'll take, I won't use these 1490 Mazdas anymore. I'll just put in 47s. And they actually draw a little less current than these. And what I've done in the past is, for radios that I restore and sell, or radios that I've gotten that, from other people, I rewire this. Matter of fact, I just had this happen last year. Somebody brought me a similar radio, and that was the problem. I said, look, I'll take care of it. So what I'll do is I'll undo this, and I'll just wire this up in parallel, and I'll just use a couple of number 47s. I don't recommend using 44s. Number 44s draw a little more current, and they're probably they actually are a little brighter, but they're probably better in transformer radios. I'm going to turn it on, and let's see what the lights do here. There you go. That's a 6.3 volts now. And they're hooked up in parallel rather than in series. Lights are getting brighter now, so share the radio soon.
Safety is an issue. FCC rules that govern this service allow this station to broadcast any information at any time to protect.
Depravity in Galatians 5 and verses 19 through 21, we see the works of the flesh. I'm not going to spend my time reading that laundry list.
Seasonally cold, but the wind will diminish 30 to 35. Sunday, Mother's Day, mostly sunny despite some arriving afternoon clouds. Less wind and milder near 60.
I don't think the camera's doing anything for this audio.
I'm WeatherWorks meteorologist John Leo on 1450 WCTC.
That's a local station.
But first, today's grim payrolls report reflects the devastating economic toll the coronavirus has taken in the U.S. 20 years of job creation have been destroyed in a single month, and the job losses are still coming. Is there anything workers can do to prepare themselves for job loss?
Here's my work right there.
Salaries? Here to bring us some ideas.
Now you can just turn this off and turn it on. You won't have to worry about the lights or the 35Z5 being damaged now. Okay. So now that I've done all this, and I'd flip it over right now, but the chassis is all done. Everything is aligned. I've aligned the two IFs. I'm just using that little wave magnet there. There's the box. You'll see the front of that in a minute. There's a little noise, but that's from this light here.
Consumers will continue to spend less amid concern that either COVID-19 or some other virus that we don't even know about.
All right, so let me do the last. There's one more little step, and we'll be all done. Okay. So I've added this little sticker, this little P-Touch label on top of the chassis. So if I ever decide to sell this radio, or I get hit by a bus tomorrow and it ever needs to be serviced, they'll know that the lights have been changed, because they'll look on the schematic and see that something's a little bit different than what it was before. But I think it's a lot better setup than using those 1840s. So anyway, thanks for watching.
Woman, I can't recall her name, in Texas, who told the government, you know what, I'm opening up, I got to make a living, my people have to make a living. People, there's going to be so much collateral damage from this.
We're not going to know the results. If it's a close election, we're not going to know the results on election.
So I decided to give Babbel a try, and I really like the teaching method of the app. I started with the beginning.
And the way the person describes
Whim, posted on a local Facebook group geared towards families. I comment.
an opinion with Dr. Lederman.
Butker to kick off for Darrell Patterson. Back deep in the end zone. Butker drives his right leg through the football. Patterson sticks his arms outstretched, and the ball bounding to the end zone for a touchback. And the Patriots going to work in the
It was harder before.
I don't believe it's snowing.
Hey, nice.
Maybe with the green background. I don't know how you can see that.
Oh, it was a blizzard before.
That's nuts. It's May 9th. The camera's picking it up.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, that was kind of quick though. No, it's still there. It's just little flurries.